I was the best person at blaming other people. I was so good at telling you why it wasn't my fault that I was this way, or that I wasn't successful, or that I didn't have the life that I want. And I've told this story before, but I was on a coaching call with my one-on-one coach at the time. I was 20 years old, and he was my mindset coach, life coach, sales coach. And in my sales, I wasn't doing as well in my sales as I was supposed to, and I wasn't doing as many outbound calls as I was supposed to, and I wasn't having the success that I wanted to have, and I was showing up a little bit late to all of our calls without my assignments done. And he had this like coming to God moment with me. And I'll remember this conversation for the rest of my life. And he said, Rob, if you look at a business and a business fails, whose fault is it? And I was like, it's the business owner. He goes, okay, say it's a big business, like a really big business, thousands of employees. If the business fails, whose fault is it? I was like, well, I guess that's the CEO's fault. He goes, okay. If a business succeeds, if a business is able to take 1,000 people that work in this business, get them towards one common goal, and the business succeeds, whose fault is that? And I was like, well, it'd be everyone's fault who worked there, but it'd also be the CEO's fault for getting everyone to go in the right direction and succeeding. He said, okay, so if a business fails, it's the CEO's fault. If a business succeeds, it's the CEO's fault. I said, yes. He said, okay, if you get to the end of your life and it's not the life that you wanted, and you look back with regret and you didn't have the love and the happiness and the joy and success that you wanted, whose fault would that be? And I was like, that would be my fault. And he goes, okay, if you got to the end of your life and it was the life that you wanted, you had the joy, the happiness, the love, success, everything you wanted, it was the life you wanted, whose fault would that? Mindset is basically the idea that I know that no matter what I do, I can grow, I can continue to get better, everything. I have a tattoo on my wrist that's an X with the line above it, which is the Roman numeral for 10,000, because I love the idea of the 10,000 hour rule, which means that with 10,000 hours of dedicated, focused, practice work at anything, you can become a master at it. It might not be exactly 10,000 hours, it might be a little bit less, it might be a little bit more depending on what it is, but you can master anything that you want to. And for me, the reason why I love this and I got it tattooed on my wrist was because for me, I realized years ago that I want to get as close to mastery of this guy named Rob. And if that's the case, I'm gonna need to be very, very focused on trying to improve this guy. I believe that all of our abilities and all of our intelligence can improve. I don't believe in the phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Neuroplasticity and science proves that that's false. And so now what I want to do is I want to look at my challenges and realize that all the challenges, all my biggest challenges in my life have come and turned into my biggest learning opportunities. I want to look at all of those challenges. I want to look at those mistakes and pull the lessons from them instead of looking at myself as a failure, but go, okay, I messed up on that. How can I grow? How can I get better? How can I have a growth mindset with everything that I do? How can I look for feedback on how I can improve? How can I use as many things around me as an opportunity to grow? How can I surround myself with people that are better than me so that they inspire me to be better by looking at them and going, you know what? I could be like them. They inspire me. I want to be like that person. How can I find people that are successful individuals that are still alive, or maybe successful individuals that died or had a whole lot of wisdom? And how can I read and listen to them and learn from them so that hopefully I can get to a point where I feel like I am a being that's full of wisdom that has knowledge to share with others? How can I keep pushing myself out of my comfort zone so that I can look for ways to grow with this growth mindset? And so that's another one of the big things that really changed my life, is developing a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is like, well, I am the way that I am. I'm going to be this way forever. I don't believe that. We can turn ourselves into anything that we want to. That's one of the most beautiful things about being a human.